This video is brought to you by Sportland, quality, integrity, and tradition.
This morning we've got a crane lift. We've got to change 2 exhaust fans and a makeup air unit that are just worn out basically. So this fan right there, and this makeup air unit. So I'm starting right now. I'm gonna get the electrical disconnected. We're waiting on management to get here. I actually had to put my own ladder up. And then after that, the crane's got to get here. He's not here yet either. We always get here early, so we're just gonna start getting everything prepped. So our crane's running a little late. This might be him getting here right now. We've got all the exhaust fans sitting over here and prepped and ready to go down. The new ones downstairs are ready. Yeah, this sounds like my crane right now. So we're gonna get the fans swapped up here, then we'll worry about getting them on the curbs and all that fancy stuff. All right, crane is leaving at the moment, or he's packing up right now. So we've got an exhaust fan here. We've got a makeup air unit there. I'm waiting for another person to help us so we can have 3 people to lift that. This guy right here, everything fits nice and good. We've got hinges for him. This one is the tricky one because the power comes up through the bottom and I have to pre-drill the hole in the new fan. And SAC has a messed up blower assembly. This thing is oh yeah, whole thing is shaking. That's not good. It's probably full of grease. All right, well, to the task at hand. I have a new hinge kit. I'll probably put it on this fan because this is their flat top. This is a more critical. I'll take the old hinge kit that was on this fan and put it on this new one because this, I don't know, it's just easier. I'm waiting on some fittings so we can do the electrical, but we went ahead and installed the hinges, okay? So this guy now easily can hinge all the way and we're good to go. These hinges are really nice because it doesn't actually penetrate the fan. It just presses against it. It's kind of cool. Use these a lot. I had to do a little bit of work because it was originally on here and it was hitting, and we had to offset it a little bit, so you see there's not a screw on that one, but it's all good. This fan, as long as it does more than half the fan, it should be good to go. But yeah, super resilient. They also have these guys right here to put in too, to stop them from, you know, going too far if it's a really heavy fan or something. But yeah, these things do really, really nice. All right, it's very dangerous, not dangerous, but you gotta be very careful when you're starting up makeup air units that have been off for a long time, because oftentimes the ductwork can be full of stuff and you can blow dust all down in the kitchen. But I had someone downstairs, we checked this one out, we made sure carefully, we bump started it nice and slow, it didn't fill up the kitchen with dirt or dust. So makeup air unit's up and running. We still gotta clean up wiring and seal it up and all that stuff. But this one we didn't do anything with, but it's up and running. But this one is not working, and we have 3-phase power. So we need to look into that. It either has a bad switch or the dodo heads didn't wire it in the motor, which wouldn't surprise me these days. So we've got 3-phase power to the top. Go ahead and check all phases. Okay. Okay, so we have 3-phase power on the top and the switch is on, and we have no power coming out. So they issued us a bad switch from the factory. So we got to turn off power and change out that switch. There's something about these electrical boxes that they install. They're too shallow, because I grabbed the 3-phase switch out of the old fan and it wouldn't fit in there because the electrical comes in the back of the box. So we need to get a deeper box for that, and we'll be able to use that. So for now, we have it hardwired because they need to start cooking. Direction is correct. This one, we still got to clean some stuff up. This one right here, it's like one thing after another with these fans. This one, I started it up. It sounds horrible. Honestly, I pulled the belt off and ran it and it runs fine. It sounds like the bearings are dry. So we're gonna try putting some grease in the bearings. That's crazy though. I don't feel anything. It just feels like the bearings are dry. Like, I mean, it's extremely difficult. I don't know, I guess it could be, it doesn't feel like it's too tight. Maybe I need to loosen that up. We'll try. But one thing after another with these, and just like the last ones I installed, they didn't come with grease spouts. So I got to make grease spouts for them too. Go figure, huh? That's funny, I didn't even catch that. It's this. This is loose, the pulley. I have the power turned on right now. That's why it was making so much noise. Those dodo heads, see, you got to watch these guys. Look at that. It's not even tightened. Good grief. That's why. Okay. All right, much better. It's running under current. It's allowed to run 7.5. It's still kind of loud, but it's all good. And we're running 7.3 amps, so we're good. So we're gonna close this one up too. So the restaurant opens in 15 minutes. I'm not gonna bother with the grease spouts for now. We'll do that tomorrow when we come back. So we're gonna put grease spouts on this one, grease spout on this one. We've already got the grease traps mounted. We got to get a deeper box so we can put the 3-phase switch on that one. This one's running fine now. Nice and good. So yeah, we're looking good. Oh, and then this right here turned out all right too. So I'm a little disappointed in that. That's kind of silly, that cover. Because water's going to rain sideways and get down into there, and it's not waterproof. It's kind of junk. It is now the next morning. We're back today, so we're going to do these grease downspouts, and we're going to put this 3-phase switch, and I got a deeper box so that way we'll be able to fit the switch in. So the problem with these is the boxes are so shallow. It's just a 2x4 box, but with the wires coming out the back, the wires are getting pinched and they have the potential to short to ground, so we don't want that. When you try to put the switch in there, they bind up, like they're tight. So we're gonna replace this box and put a deeper one. I'm getting to the point where I'm probably not gonna be using these exhaust fans anymore if we're gonna keep running into this. And then the construction of that make-up air unit, I'm not having it. So this will probably be the last time on this brand. 3/8 screws, and then it just untwists from there. Got a much deeper box, so you can see the comparison. So that'll allow for the switch to actually fit inside that box now. Now we've got all the room in the world, nice and tight. Everything's good where it's supposed to be, so we're gonna put the cover on and we should be good to go. When you are putting these on, you wanna make sure that the gasket's coming out the top. If it's not, that can lead to water issues. So this turned out okay. We just got to test rotation, but we should be good. And we're also going to test the tightness of all the pulleys one more time since it's been running for a day. We'll put a breather hole on this guy right here, so that way you know, it drips down into the thing and has the little pressure relief breather hole. And that's about all we can do on those. We're doing this last one over here right now, so yeah, that's it.
You know, I really don't like to call people out, and I'm not naming the manufacturer, but I'm sure you guys can figure it out. But I was not happy with the quality of those exhaust fans. I just wasn't, okay? They don't ship them with the downspouts for the grease system. They don't ship them with grease traps to catch the grease. They don't ship them with covers for the 3-phase switches. They shipped them with blank plates. They did give me a 3-phase switch, but then they gave me a 3-phase switch that didn't work. That happens, you know. I'm not so mad about the switch that didn't work because obviously they're purchasing that switch from someone else. But it was just the quality of everything. It just very disappointing. And then the make-up air unit, that's going to be a problem. We're going to have to make a bigger eyebrow for that or something like that. If it, you know, luckily we don't get a lot of rain in Southern California, but the inside of that make-up air unit, the surface is not waterproof. It's not meant to have water sitting on it. So if we get sideways rain, it's going to hit that metal mesh filter and it's going to get inside that fan. And I just wasn't in love with that. It's just a bummer, but you know, it is what it is. We'll keep an eye on it. But you know, we have to be vigilant and we have to keep on top of that stuff. And we also have to know when to stop. In my situation, the fan, you know, by the time, because of some issues with the crane and different things like that, we finished that first day at 10:45 a.m. and they opened at 11 a.m. So that's usually not enough time for them to prep all their stuff and cook their chips and all that different things. But, you know, sometimes that stuff happens. But I knew that it was like I needed to stop. I just hardwired the fan that had the bad switch. And, you know, we came back another day to change the electrical box. We put a deeper box so that way it can receive the 3-phase switch better. And then, and to be clear too, the 3-phase switch that the manufacturer shipped would work if it wasn't bad, right? But I had to pull the square D switch from the old fan, which is a much more high quality switch, and the square D switch was taller, so it wouldn't fit in their existing electrical box. So that's why we had to make the box bigger. And then we also replaced the grease downspouts for the grease to go into the grease trap. I'm not a fan of doing PVC for those because inevitably it's going to break sitting in the sun, but that's just, it is what it is, right? Can't do anything else. Probably, like I said in the video, I'm not going to be really using their fans anymore unless they change their quality. So, the makeup air unit, already talked about that a little bit, but I was a little bummed out about that, the water intrusion that's going to happen. So like I said, probably won't be using these fans anymore, this brand anymore. And to give context, this particular brand, I'm not going to name them, but you guys can probably figure it out. They're like a low ball or a low cost version of the manufacturer of the fans. You know, they basically relabel them with their own label, but they have someone else make the fans and they just buy a budget version. Customer actually purchases them themselves and they just ship them out. But I do have a little bit of influence over the customer, so I can tell them like, hey, the quality is not going to be the greatest. You know, I'm installing what they purchase, but it's like I'll probably push them to go use a different brand because, yeah, just not a super fan of that. But always be vigilant, always pay attention, always know when to stop, like I said earlier. You know, and something I did want to discuss that I didn't show in the video that's very important when you're doing exhaust fan installs, because of the building air balance, you want to make sure that you are checking the air balance too, and also making sure that when you're installing the new exhaust fan that the pulleys are the same sizes. So you don't want to install an exhaust fan with different size pulleys because that's going to change the speed of the fan. That's going to affect the air balance. It's very important that you pay attention to the air balance. So I did check that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that on camera, but we made sure that the air balance was correct. For, you know, new people, the air balance is, if you have an exhaust fan pulling air out of the building, that air has to come from somewhere, right? If you take a paper bag and you put it around your face and you inhale, that bag is going to collapse because you're pulling the air out of the bag. If you cut a hole in the bottom of the bag, the air is going to pass through, right? So think about an exhaust fan in a kitchen. When you're exhausting the air out of the building, that air has to be made up from somewhere. We call it makeup air, right? So we introduce makeup air into the building in the case of this restaurant through a dedicated makeup air unit that creates an air curtain over the hoods to help contain smoke and heat inside the hoods, okay? So it's very important that you do not change the air balance too much, because if you do, you have to adjust the makeup air. And in this particular situation, they actually pull a little bit of makeup air from the ACs too. So you'd have to go and adjust the ACs. So you got to be very careful about that. Okay. I really appreciate y'all making it to the end of the video as usual. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my website, hvacrvideos.com. We have merchandise available. We also have methods. You know, the easiest method to support the channel is watch the videos from beginning to end without skipping through anything. You can also support the channel via Patreon, PayPal, YouTube channel memberships. Those are all different methods. There's links in the show notes. Again, I appreciate you all, and we will catch you on the next one, okay?